let's talk about tenths. The double stop known as tenths are an interval 10 notes apart, and they're very challenging due to the spread required or the stretch required in the hand. So I usually introduce this in scales of double stops with students, but one of the first pieces that I would assign to a student would be the third movement of the Bruch G minor Violin Concerto. So there are two examples in that third movement that have tenths. I'll give you the first. In my music it happens right before letter C, and it starts with thirds, and then when you see my hands spread out, you'll know I'm playing tenths. Alright, so the tenths were those notes there. So one of the key difficulties to tenths, besides the stretch, is that when one is moving a whole step, your four may be moving a half step, or vice versa. So it's very important that you know what the notes are. If you have the music to the G minor concerto, get the third movement out and find this example. But what I'll tell you is that my 1 was playing D, E, F sharp, G, A, and 4 was playing F sharp, G, A, B, C. So what I want to do is just play those notes with you. We're going to find the first tenth by playing a 1 in first position, and then we're going to shift to 5th position, drop our 4, and have that F sharp. I want your thumb to go up and hit the neck joint, and I want it to be coming under the neck. It's much easier to reach these intervals when your thumb is under the instrument. Then take your first finger and reach back. So we're not going to reach up with the 4, we're going to reach back with the 1, and it should be a D, and you can check it with the D string. Now we're going to leave our 4 over the note, but we're actually going to only bow on the lower string right now. So D, whole step to E, whole step to F sharp, half step to G, whole step to A. Okay? Do the same thing only with the upper finger. So you're going to play with your 1 down, but not actually bowing on the A string. F sharp, half step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half step to C, and you can check that against a C in first position. At this point, you have to start putting them together. So we're going to put the thumb under the neck, find the double stop, and then we're going to actually bow on 2 strings. My 1 is going to move a whole step, my 4 is going to move a half step. You should practice that shift multiple times until you can do a whole step with 1, half step with 4. Now in the next shift they're both whole steps. The next shift, 1 moves a half step, 4 moves a whole step. Backwards. 1 moves a whole step, 4 moves a half step. No, I told you right. Half step of 1, whole step of 4. And then the last one, 1 moves a whole step, 4 moves a half step. Okay? You can check your 1 against open A. And once you've mastered that, you know what to do with the fingers. As far as the intervals, you know, I have to do them several times before I memorize which one is moving a half and which one is moving a whole. That's really important. So the thumb under the neck, reach back for your 1, and then know which finger is moving the whole step and which is moving the half. Galamian, I read recently that Galamian would say that you should put your thumb sort of in the middle or a neutral position and reach slightly back and slightly up with the 4. I find it a lot easier to get my thumb under and reach back with my 1. If I am not careful, I will strain my hand. So when you practice this, maybe only a couple of minutes a day. Okay? Don't overdo this or you will end up straining your 4th finger throughout this part of the hand. Okay? So there's some ideas for tenths. Good luck.